Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Today we've had the state budget 2014 hot off the press. What I wanted to do today was, in just a couple of minutes, unpack the key aspects of that budget for you. We know you're time poor, but we wanted to get this to you as soon as we could so you understand what the implications of this budget are for the business community. The first thing is there is some good news. The Treasurer's heard what we had to say. We don't want the business tax burden to be increased. So the good news is that direct taxes on business like payroll tax, land tax and stamp duty, the Treasurer's held the line on that. Now we believe that's because he recognises our submissions that if the small to medium-sized enterprises in the state who are going to create the jobs going forward, who are going to create the economic growth, get any more taxation burden, it's going to create a real confidence problem, and we don't want that to happen. The other thing we've got to give the Treasurer full credit for is the concessions around stamp duty to keep the residential housing market going, and those concessions around payroll tax exemptions for small employers are going to be honoured. It's really important that those things are honoured because people are relying on those in their industries. The other bit of good news is that they've extended the stamp duty concessions for people over 60 who want to downsize and get smaller units off the plan. Look, as far as we're concerned, we don't know whether that'll work, but if it does work, it'll help stimulate a really important part of our economy. Look, the other thing is that we knew that our public sector costs are too high in this state. It doesn't matter what the catalyst is for reducing public sector costs, but we know health and education are enormously expensive. We know that there's got to be an efficiency dividend that comes out of that. We know that there's got to be a reduction in public sector costs, because if we don't, this state will never get back into surplus. What's also important is that we get the cost of government borrowing down. So that what they're doing about doing a debt swap with SA Water is important on the basis that the Treasurer said that water charges won't go up, and we know utility costs are very high in this state as it is. So at the end of the day, we know that there will be indirect charges. It's got to come from somewhere. So we're going to have things like an increase in the emergency services levy. Fortunately, there is a concession for business. It'll be lower than residential. We know that that's an impost, but frankly, we'd rather have a Treasurer who commits to holding the line on direct costs to business and having some movement on indirect. Now, the whole point about this budget, it's the first of 4 that the Labor government are going to bring down. And what we've got is a Treasurer who's committed to a surplus. Now, a Treasurer who's not committed to a surplus shouldn't be there. We're supporting the fact that we've got to get into surplus, because without a surplus, we can't get tax reform that this business community needs. I just want to say there's last 3 things. One is we support the absolute commitment to work cover reform, and we believe that will deliver at least $180 million in cost savings to employers in this state. Absolutely essential to be competitive as our other states go down in their levies. We also want to see red tape reduction, saving millions of dollars to business. None of this costs the government any revenue at all, but it will be a huge difference to the business community. Finally, we're really pleased that the office that we lobbied for, the Industry Participation Advocate, is now up and running, getting more and more of that $3.8 billion worth of government spend to South Australian businesses to create South Australian jobs. Finally, I just want to say I recognise that the Treasurer has reached out. He wants an ongoing conversation with BusinessSA about how we can turn this economy around, how we can create jobs, how we can change the environment to create business confidence, and I welcome that, and I know our members welcome the Treasurer reaching out. Finally, I want to say on a positive note, we turn 175 this year. On August 29th at the Adelaide Entertainment Centre, we're going to have a fantastic gala event. Go to our website for tickets, it'll be amazing. Thanks very much. We appreciate your support as our members, and we hope this 2-minute unpack really helps you in a very time-poor environment get to the key points of this budget. Catch up soon.